No falla na yung.
Welcome to my little tropical farm. Next to my house, this road is not drivable, but the horses go on it occasionally. And we are going to pick all of the peaches that are hanging over the road.
Ah, sí.
Mario switched to using just a forked stick, and he's pretty good at this. Wow.
Este palo allá va a tener que parir bastante.
We have almost a full bucket. This was our final haul. A full 5-pound bucket overflowing with Durazno, also peach. We also got some oranges and some lemons and some culantro while we were out there. Jesse was just telling me the ingredients for this is 3 peaches, Panamanian peaches. I don't think, well, I'm sure regular peaches would work, but it would taste very different. 1 large can of evaporated milk. This is regular evaporated milk, not sweetened condensed or condensed. It's evaporated milk. About a pound of sugar, depending on how sweet you want it. And this is like an evaporated cane juice sugar, so it's brown. And you put it in a blender and add ice. Jesse is going to show us what's next with the peaches. Muchas semillas. Ah. Dos. So there are 2 seeds in each piece of fruit. And she's just peeling it, taking out the seeds and saving the flesh. And I'm going to get our blender ready. We're going to eat our lunch with our batidos or smoothies made with the peaches. I'm gonna try that first. Es más ácido de tu casa. Es bueno. It's good. What I was saying is it's more acidic than the one we had at her house, which came from the same tree. But it's good. It's a quick morning tour of our food forest. Here you can see the nyame. Some of it's dying off. I will pick some of that. I need to find out if I need to pull it all out of the ground during the dry season. I'm guessing it could probably sit there just fine. Here's a new one growing. We did pick one, and I want to say it was over here, but I'm not sure where it was, so that'll be interesting. We pulled up one and then cut the tops off and reburied those, so that we have some nyame for next year. My pineapples are still growing, doing just fine. I did plant a new one, which I believe is this one. And it does have some new growth, it looks like, in the center. So I think it's okay. And my sugar cane is doing well. Let's pass the... My papaya trees are not doing well. Not sure exactly what happened to these, but they are not great. That's a papaya tree, and that's a papaya tree, and they're not doing well. I think my guanabana is doing better, but it's not the season for guanabana, so it's hard to tell. We'll walk this way. This is a guava tree that looks like it's surviving, but not extremely healthy. And we'll walk around. My cassava is doing well. So remember, there was corn here last year. Cassava's not ready yet. I probably could pick some if I had to, but it's really not time. I was told a year, but I don't think it's going to take a full year. I should probably be able to pick some of these. And I don't know if some of you remember, there was corn growing among the cassava, but it didn't grow super well. And then here we have some new coconut trees. I planted, I think, 5 of them. So 1, 2, and then up this row, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I planted 6 of them just to line the property. I don't pick the coconut too often, but other people do. This is a dead tree with a termite nest still in it, so I'm assuming the exterminators didn't catch that. I don't know if that's alive or not, but I'll deal with that once it gets warmer today. And then this here is my whole bean patch. And Mario said once the tendrils start growing, I should lay them down and I'll get more production from them. So we'll do that. Hola. This is a small avocado tree. Seems to be doing okay. Just planted that. This is actually a mulberry tree that hasn't been doing well. Clearly. Although it has a mulberry on it. So it's got a few. I'm thinking about cutting it down. Oh, it's got a vine on it too, which is not ideal. I will probably cut pieces off this and replant. But for now, it's okay. The banana trees we can ignore because they, 1, aren't doing well, clearly, and 2, they've been cut down because of a fungus. So we will replant with plantains next year, but I'm not sure if we're going to plant here. I'd like to have some in the yard, but I don't know. Not sure what this tree is. Try and find out. This is a Nance tree, so it is a fruit. Nance is little berries they make into jam. I think they also make it into a chicha, but it does make a jam. This past year, the dogs ate it all. This is my lone, oh shoot, I'm drawing a blank on what tree that is. Moringa tree. Hopefully it'll grow. The first day I had the sheep, they got out into the garden and ate that. Here's another mulberry tree. and I don't know what's growing around it. I think it's a non-edible potato type of plant. So I'll probably pull that up. But this mulberry tree, again, is not healthy, but it produces. There's a little mulberry. Forget what the tree is behind it. But that's most of my food forest. Still a lot of growth needs to be done. We'll probably this year focus on getting some passion fruit. Some more cacao, which is over in the area I used to call the orchard, but not much growing there. I don't think I'll get more citrus trees, but maybe some mandarin oranges, because I prefer those. And I'll replace some of these bitter oranges eventually. So here we're walking over to what was supposed to be my garden, but hasn't produced much. I do now have, it's basically an herb garden at this point. So this is Cuban oregano, grows really well here. These are basil plants that seem to be doing well. I should probably cut them back and get them bushier, but they're fine. Over there is turmeric. I do have 2 carrots growing. They've been in there forever. They don't have big roots. And there is one ginger plant there that I replanted and it's not doing super well. Here is peppers, sweet peppers, and I'm going to have to water these during the year. So no problem, during the dry season, not a problem, I will do that. I'm going to get some sort of sprinkler system set up in here. These are actually a bean plant. This is a pigeon peas, I believe. And they grow fast. They're great for ground cover too. But people don't use them here for that. I think they're great for like chop and drop to give nutrients to the soil. But I threw some in here just to see if they'd grow. And then I was told they needed more room, so I did pull some of them out. But they are growing. And I'm going to leave these few here and see what happens. This is just an experiment. This is culantro. It doesn't look pretty, but it's providing me culantro for my food. This is more ginger. I'm hoping it grows up well. Again, more ginger, more turmeric. This is nothing. So this, I've let the weeds grow, which I shouldn't have. I do have a few things growing. So this is mint. This is more, I don't know what that is on that, but that's more of the Cuban oregano. But most of these, like that, are weeds. I did just dig up this area. I actually composted some stuff in here that you wouldn't normally compost, but I thought it would be good. It's actually some food waste, some chicken bones from some food that I made. I buried it pretty deep. It looks like the dogs haven't gotten to it. And that type of compost underground is supposed to be really good for things like squashes and melons. So I thought what I'd do is, now that that's dug up and it's in there, I've got some loofah germinating. And for those of you that remember, I planted loofah 4 times. I planted it over there by that trellis that you could hardly see, and it got eaten by bugs every time. So it's not the season to grow loofah, but since I'm going to have to water the peppers, which are right here next to where I want to plant the loofah, I figured I'll plant them to run trellis up these poles. They'll have some shade, so the real heat of the dry season shouldn't affect them too badly. And we'll see what happens. It's really, so much of this garden has been an experiment, and so much of it has failed. But for now, we're just going to keep experimenting, and whatever works, works. And I'm hoping to keep this whole patch actually as more of an herb garden with an occasional other plant growing. So most of this garden will become perennial plants, not annuals. But I'm thinking under the shade cloth next season, I will plant probably some watermelon I planted that too late this year, and probably some lettuce, tomatoes. See if we can grow that in the heat here. Not typical. Let me take you to one other spot. I will plant more cucumbers over here. They did pretty well despite being eaten by bugs. So this is where my loofah and my cucumbers were. As you can see, my cucumber plant is still growing, but it's not fruiting, of course. So we pulled trees from these two spots, or we cut down trees. And next year, at the right time, I plan on planting taro in those. So I'll plant at least one group of purple taro, because that's a little sweeter. And then I might plant the regular white or yellow taro in the other one. So this is also where my dogs hang out at times. So that's all I have. I do have some citrus over here. I kind of ignore this tree. It hasn't done well. But it's the other two that were cut down were also citrus. I have a ton of noni trees around my property. I will never eat noni. Noni is not supposed to be good. It's supposed to be medicinal, but I just don't see myself using it. So, so eventually those trees will go, but they're really good privacy screens as well. Although the fruit drops and it's disgusting, it gets all mushy. But I'll show you my other noni tree. I mean, they seem to grow great here. Nobody seems to bother them. Maybe that's because nobody likes the fruit. But here is another noni tree. So they're big and bushy. And like I said, eventually I'll take those down. I do have a few more trees to take down, like this one. I don't know what that was, but it's been eaten. And I'll do that as I get other trees to put up and let them grow. And that's pretty much my garden tour for today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Okay, Mario just picked some pepper plants, and he's showing me something, but I'm still very confused as to what we're doing.
Y ya iba saliendo. Eso.
Dámelo. Ah, para tierra más dura. Agua.
¿Ya?
Agua. Agua.
Nancy.
Adelante. Adelante. Ahí.
Ah,
Agua.
¿y en un árbol?
Sí, ahí. Allá. En la cerca que tú.
Ah,
Agua. Papel
¿Quién?
de sucios, de basura. Echas ahí
Abono.
agua.
ah, okay. Hung it up, and he's adding water. And I think we're going to grow a lot of plants this way. It's morning here, and I think I told you last week about the parrots. And you come outside and you hear nothing but parrots. I just put the Merlin app in my phone, and actually that's not true. I can hear a few other birds, but it's primarily parrots. Put the Merlin app in my phone and put the sound on, and all it is picking up is red lord parrots. And that's what you're seeing. They're a bright green parrot. Well, you're not seeing, I'm seeing. Unfortunately, they're up pretty high in the trees and you can't get a good shot, but I am gonna, there they go. There's 2 of them. They seem to stay in pairs. I'm not sure. I saw 12 of them yesterday. There's 2 more up there. There's 3 of them. They're really loud, but that's not my issue. My issue is they eat all my fruits, and I'm really worried about my corn because I'd like that corn to survive. So we're gonna walk over here, take care of the chickens and the ducks. I was up this morning and let the chickens out, but it was really dark back here, and the ducks are so afraid of me to begin with, I decided not to go in there in the dark. So I'm gonna go give them food and water. It's only been about 15 minutes since I was back here. And then I'm gonna go make a lot of noise near the corn to try and keep the parrots away. You can hear them again. Can't see them though. Corn is high, and Mario is saying in about a week it'll be ready, but doesn't feel it. I don't feel kernels in there, but maybe I don't know what I'm feeling for.
Mira que el saco espantaba un poco los loros aquí, ¿ves? Estaban comiendo aquí.
Ooh! Those are some crazy insects. Oh no. I'm pretty hot and sweaty. I have no idea what the weather is like right now. I'd say only in the high 80s, but I'm not sure. But I thought I'd take you along for some of the harder work I do. So every day I clean out the sheep stall. So I clean out this side where they spend most of their time, although all of them can get right now over to this side. I do pick up where I see poop, and then I took some of the hay and rice hulls and spread it here where it was more wet from urine. And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to fill this hole. This is where I put their water, and I really don't want their urine running down into their, I mean, it's not going to get in their water, but they don't need it under their water bowl either. So when we talked about finishing off this floor, which as you can see, I didn't know under those few inches of dirt that there actually is cement. You can see it here a little bit, but it's not very even. So I'm not going to fix the cement now, but we were talking about fixing it with this rock and dirt and then tamping it down super hard so that I could still use the pressure washer on it. I'm not positive that would work either, but I'm using that rock and dirt from our, the hole we built, the trash hole. I don't know what else you call it in English other than a trash hole. But there's a lot of rock and minerals and whatnot. Really, it's rock and dirt, and it's hard packed rock. It's like clay. So I am digging up some of that, carrying it over here by the shovelful because my wheelbarrow is full of sheep poop. Maybe I'll go dump the sheep poop and hay that's in the wheelbarrow and use the wheelbarrow to finish up this project, and I will take you along once I get to that point. So I dumped the poop over in the orchard area, and I picked up some sticks while I was over that and dropped them in the hole. They were logs and sticks and stuff that were just in the pasture, didn't need to be. I'm breathing very heavy now because I already scooped up the dirt. And now we'll see if we can dump it in the right spot. figure I'm heavier than the shovel. Quite a bit, probably. Okay. I think that's probably big enough. And then I just want to fill in these gaps down here a little bit, just so that, again, I don't need the water getting in there. Or, you know. At this point, I like that the room slopes this way, although it would be better if it sloped out. But the good thing about it is that in the other room where it was pretty flat, their urine pooled a little, but it was everywhere. This way, at least it's down in this end. And I think what I'm going to start to do in the future is throw some of that old hay and rice hulls down on the wet spots before, about an hour or so before I clean up, and see what it will absorb. Let's see if this will be enough for the water. I might need another shovelful. Okay, I think that's pretty perfect for now. We'll see how it goes. I only fill up their water about halfway because they don't tend to drink it. Sheep don't drink a lot of water. So I change it every day, but I fill it up about halfway. That's probably a little less than normal, but it's fine. And I'm going to go inside and get some water for myself, since I am now immensely tired. That's all for this week. We look forward to showing you more as the farm grows. If you like this video, hit the like button, and we'd love for you to subscribe and follow along with us. We'll see you next week. Bye.